top story, which is focusing on universities. So we've got the University of Pretoria and the Free State expected to resume classes today after a week of violent protests. The institutions were shut down last week after opposing students clashed and property was damaged. Meanwhile, political and civil rights organizations have joined forces to ensure there is no further disruptions to teaching and learning at Tuks.
And talk.
An unusual alliance, joining forces to ensure the academic program continues unhindered following a complete shutdown of the university. Its language policy sparked racial tensions that saw student bodies come to blows, prompting others to pray for unity and non-racialism. That message now echoed by the Gauteng Alliance. Made up of political parties, youth bodies and student organizations, it's calling for cool heads to prevail.
Intimidation, disruption and violence, we unconditionally reject it. Because that climate leads to what happened at the University of Northwest, where an administration is torched. Who's going to pay for the repair of that administration building at Northwest? In a university which majority of students come from working class and poor backgrounds.
The vast majority of students, both black and white, want to study and want to study in a peaceful environment and want to study in circumstances where there's mutual recognition and respect amongst communities. But unfortunately, that voice of the vast majority of students has been silenced by a group of unappeasable radicals.
We will continue to work during the week to make sure that we defend the right to learn and the right to work, the right to an undisturbed, free and democratic life.
Students say they are not ready to go back to class despite an announcement that academic activities will resume.
The university fails first and foremost to point as to what the problem is. How do you then expect them to deal with the problem if they cannot even identify it? And that is why we are calling for the removal of Professor Jonathan Jansen. He has failed the transformation agenda of the university. He has failed the human project. He fails to identify the problem.
Professor Jansen has condemned the attack on protesters.
If there was really so much racial tension, you would have seen this every other day. Okay? And we don't see that every other day. Having said that, you're absolutely correct. This thing said, there are still unresolved issues.
The campus is currently calm and peaceful. Authorities hope it will remain so in the weeks ahead. Bale Samweti, SABC News, Bloemfontein.